Tonight on Y News. President Rodrigo Duterte warns leftist groups of terminating peace talks if demands prove too much. The government peace panel hopes that the Bilateral Ceasefire Agreement will be completed before the year ends.
President Rodrigo Duterte leaves for Cambodia for a two-day state visit. The Department of Labor and Employment plans to ban household service workers from being deployed to some countries in the Middle East.
The Philippine National Police warns policemen against indiscriminate firing during holiday revelries. And supporters and friends gather tonight for the premiere and sponsors night of Kuya Danielle's advocacy film, Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto at the Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City.
Y News begins now.
From the UNTV News and Rescue Command Center, this is Y News with Angelo Castro III, Gerry Alcantara, and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. Protesters face policemen involved in the October 19 U.S. Embassy dispersal at the hearing of House Committee on Human Rights today. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The officials of Manila Police District have different justifications denying it was them who ordered the dispersal of rallyists in front of the U.S. Embassy on October 19. According to former MPD Deputy Director for Operations Senior Superintendent Marcelino Pedroso, he just found the situation in chaos upon arriving at the scene and thus recommended for the dispersal.
Talagang nagugulo pa rin sila doon sa lugar, nagbabandalize pa rin. So, talagang disappointed ako sa nangyari. So, I called for a meeting with our ground commander and other officers.
Did you give orders?
Definitely there's no orders.
Also, Police Superintendent Albert Barot, the ground commander that day, denies that the order of dispersal originated from him.
No, Your Honor, I did not give the order of dispersal.
You did not give the order. So who gave the order?
It is, I think, Your Honor, it is also one of the investigation of the CIDG.
Meanwhile, PO3 Franklin Co defended his action of violently driving a police mobile into the rallyist crowd.
Ano ba yung intention mo doon sa pag-atras abante ng sasakyan?
Self-preservation lang po yun, Your Honor. Wala po akong planong manakit. Hindi ko na po nakikita yung daan dahil marami pong pintura yung salamin ng sasakyan at marami pong pumapalo doon sa paligid ko. Kung nahablot po ako sa loob ng sasakyan ng mga ralista, baka nakalibing na po ako ngayon.
The group Katribo insisted that their assembly is peaceful and they have not started the trouble.
Wala po yung mga marshal sa aming harapan. Direkta na pong tumama po yung mga shield dun sa aming hanay, particular po sa mga leaders.
The Committee on Human Rights will resume the probe on said issue next year due to the Congress session break this week. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
Senate Finance Committee Chair Senator Loren Legarda ensures that the 2017 national budget does not include pork barrel or lump sums. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
The House of Representatives has ratified today the 3.35 trillion peso national budget. This after the Bicameral Conference Committee of Congress approved the measure after consolidating the House and Senate versions of the budget. Senate Committee on Finance Chair Senator Loren Legarda ensures that the budget passed by BICAM is devoid of any pork barrel or any questionable allocation. She said that they have already addressed the alleged lump sum in the proposed budget of the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH.
Naka-line item lahat. Oo, naka-line item basta may multi-purpose building at kalsada at tulay. There's no lump sum. Pati yung sinasabing lump sum sa central office ay sinab-alat na sa regions.
Legarda said a big bulk of the budget is allocated to social services. This includes free irrigation for farmers, free tuition in state universities and colleges, additional food allowance for prisoners, and an added budget for hiring of doctors in barrios. The budget also expands the coverage of PhilHealth.
The poorest of the poor who are not registered in PhilHealth, who don't have health cards, who don't know who to approach, sila po at lahat po ng mahihirap na Pilipino ay sakop na po ng PhilHealth sa lahat po ng pampublikong ospital.
Before the budget was approved in the Bicameral Conference Committee, Senator Panfilo Lacson questioned the 8 billion pesos added to the DPWH that is slashed from what is appropriated for the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or ARMM.
So, bakit inalis mo pa sa ARMM, ilipat mo sa DPWH, tapos doon mo rin pala implement? So, isa lang yung nakikita natin doon. Nangyari yon sa House of Representatives. Ibig sabihin, short of saying, gagawin pork, hindi ba? Kasi naka-assign na sa mga legislative districts.
The two chambers later on decided to follow the Senate version of the budget and placed the 8 billion pesos to the Commission on Higher Education.
Kung akong tatanungin, ay ilagay na lang natin doon sa suporta doon sa education, CHED, para naman mas maraming scholars ang pwedeng mag-benefit.
Before this week ends, the Senate is expected to ratify the budget, while President Rodrigo Duterte is said to approve it on December 22. Joyce Balancio, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Chinese gambling tycoon Jack Lam and 4 others were charged with corruption of public officials and wiretapping. Meanwhile, immigration officials had turned over to the Department of Justice 30 million pesos, which is allegedly part of the bribe money. Rodrigo Mendoza will tell us why.
Chinese gaming tycoon Jack Lam is now facing charges for corruption of public officials for allegedly trying to bribe immigration officials to secure the release of Chinese nationals caught illegally working in his Fontana casino in Clark, Pampanga. BI Deputy Commissioners Al Argosino and Michael Robles say the bribery attempt happened in a restaurant in Parañaque City last November 27. Retired Police General Wally Sombero allegedly served as Lam's emissary, who, accompanied by Lam's interpreters, delivered 50 million pesos. Also charged were Sombero, Acting Immigration Intelligence Chief Retired General Charles Calima, and Lam's interpreters. They were also charged with wiretapping for secretly recording the conversation between them and the immigration officials.
After the termination of our investigation, we have prepared and filed this complaint affidavit, a joint complaint affidavit in the city of Parañaque for the offenses of corruption of public officials and violation of RA 4200 or otherwise known as Anti-Wiretapping Act.
Sombero allegedly took 2 million pesos from the bribe money, while Calima got 18 million pesos. This afternoon, Argosino and Robles personally turned over to DOJ 30 million pesos of the alleged bribe money.
Okay, we are accepting this, but this is only for safekeeping of evidence or alleged evidence, and we did without prejudice to the ongoing investigation that is being currently made by the National Bureau of Investigation and by the Bureau of Immigration, and of course by the Department of Justice in Parañaque.
Secretary Aguirre was saddened by the incident since Argosino and Robles are his fraternity brothers. The two also aided him in defending President Duterte's disqualification case during the campaign period.
Yes, siyempre, you felt betrayed. You felt that they were not following the order of the president to go after corruption.
The secretary assured that the investigations being conducted by NBI, BI and Parañaque City Prosecutor's Office will be fair to everyone. He, however, recommended the relief of Argosino and Robles to the president. Rodrigo Mendoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
President Rodrigo Duterte warns rebels of terminating peace talks if demands prove to be excessive. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte told rebels not to be too demanding. This is in reference to the leftist demands of freeing all political prisoners throughout the country without even signing a permanent ceasefire agreement with the government.
But do not make too much demands because I am the republic and you are the rebel. And if you are not ready to accept that kind of mindset at this time, I am ready to, terminate the talks.
The president made the statement when he hosted the dinner for the Wallace Business Forum last night. However, the president firmly believes that the rebels do not want him ousted. Meanwhile, the president also revealed his other illness aside from migraine and Berger's disease. He also mentioned about his spinal issues but denied suffering from cancer. The presidential spokesperson Undersecretary Ernesto Abella said President Duterte's issue on his spinal cord is nothing serious. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Despite recent developments, members of the government peace panel who are dealing with the National Democratic Front are confident that peace negotiations are on track. Victor Cosari will tell us why.
Just a hump and not a hindrance. This is how a member of the government peace panel describes the recent development in the government's peace dealings with the National Democratic Front, an arm of the Communist Party of the Philippines. The NDF has been asking for the release of all political prisoners, prioritizing first the elderly and sick. However, President Rodrigo Duterte has made mention that there will be no release of political prisoners for the meantime. GPH peace panel members says this pronouncement of the president will not end the peace talks.
He never said that he will not release, only that he has made mention of another equally important issue, which is the bilateral ceasefire.
In context, the president said release all. Hindi naman niya sinabi release all at the same time. You know why? Because of the reality of the legal system.
For now, both parties are still trying to iron out their differences to be able to come up with a bilateral permanent ceasefire agreement.
We still have to finalize some of the major details in the agreement, such as the violations, the monitoring mechanism. We hope that it can be done. They can complete all these unfinished business before the end of the year. I hope the committees can agree on that.
The government's negotiators are confident that the peace negotiations are on track. The third round of formal talks will commence next month, and part of the discussion would be on the socio-economic reforms and other current controversial issues. Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue, Davao City.
President Rodrigo Duterte has left the country for state visits in Cambodia and Singapore. The president said it is necessary for him to visit the ASEAN countries to prepare for the Philippines' chairmanship of the ASEAN Summit in 2017. Upon arrival in Cambodia, President Duterte said to meet the Filipino community, while cultural and tourism cooperation agreements are expected to be signed between the Philippines and Cambodia. After the state visit in Cambodia, President Duterte will go straight to Singapore for a two-day state visit as well. Meanwhile, Budget Secretary Benjamin Diokno is a caretaker committee head of the government while the president is out of the country. Let's take a look at the traffic situation now along some major roads in Metro Manila. On EDSA Guadalupe, the flow of vehicles is bumper to bumper on the northbound lane or the lane going to Shaw Boulevard. The traffic is also heavy along the opposite lane or the lane going to Ayala. On EDSA Bagong Barrio, the flow of vehicles is light while the traffic is moderate on the lane going to Balintawak. In Recto Avenue, Manila, the traffic is moderate on the lane going to Divisoria. The flow of vehicles is also moderate on the lane going to Legarda.
Next, NY News. The Department of Labor and Employment plans to ban household service workers in some countries in the Middle East.
Two Indonesian nationals freed by the Abu Sayyaf group will return home soon.
The Philippine National Police warns policemen against indiscriminate firing amid the holiday revelry.
Y News will be right back. The Department of Labor and Employment is mulling over whether to ban household service workers in some countries in the Middle East. Monokson will tell us why.
The Labor and Employment Department is planning to limit sending household service workers in some Middle East countries. This is due to the growing number of OFWs that need to be repatriated by the government. Recently, the Senate proposed a 100 million peso emergency repatriation fund to send distressed OFWs home. Kuwait is one of the countries that DOLE plans to ban domestic helpers from.
Ang inaalaw na lang namin mostly yung mga skilled workers kagaya ng mga electricians, welders, construction workers, yung mga saka safe na ngayon, hindi yung mga HSW medyo delikado na especially doon sa Kuwait.
Apolinar works as a janitor in Qatar. He is now planning to go home because his salary of 30,000 is just the same in the Philippines.
May malaki nga po ang tao dito, may kagat, sa palitan po ng pera natin. Kaso po, yung gastusin din po, ganun din po. Ganun din po ang resulta. Pinakamahirap po doon kasi ang mapalayo po sa pamilya.
The government is prepared to offer work and livelihood projects in case OFWs decide to return to the Philippines. The Department of Trade and Industry partnered with DOLE in providing livelihood programs for OFWs.
Pero kailangan gumalaw yung tao. Kailangan din yung tao, yung ating mga kababayan, talagang magsisikap talaga. Hindi kaya ng gobyerno lang na programa to. Sila mismo, yung mindset na magtrabaho ako, hanap akong trabaho, hindi ako tatambay, hindi ako inom-inom. No? Maghanap akong trabaho or maghanap akong negosyo, gawa akong negosyo.
The government is not worried that remittances from OFWs will decrease even if a ban is implemented. Last year, OFW remittances reached 1.3 trillion pesos. This translates to 10% of the gross domestic product of the country. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Good news to all overseas Filipino workers who are still abroad. Beginning December 25, the Customs Administrative Order 05 on duty and tax-free balikbayan boxes will be implemented. It means all OFWs abroad can enjoy sending 3 shipments of balikbayan boxes in a year with 150,000 pesos tax-free ceiling. All they have to do is fill out the form at www.customs.gov.ph. Those who will be cheating the declaration of the items inside the box will face civil and criminal liabilities. The risk management team of BOC will be monitoring the listed items in the sender's info sheet to make sure no one will be using this privilege for smuggling and business purposes.
2 Indonesian nationals released from the captivity of the Abu Sayyaf group may soon return home to Indonesia. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
The AFP Western Mindanao Command had turned over the 2 Indonesian nationals released from the captivity of the Abu Sayyaf group or ASG. West Mincon Deputy Commander Brigadier General Jose Cabanban led the turnover of the 2 to Indonesian Embassy Protocol Officer Pak Wiba and other police attaches of Indonesia. AFP says the release of the 2 kidnapped victims is due to their intensified campaign against the bandit group.
With our relentless effort in conducting operation in Sulu, these 2 hostages or captives were released. And I think that these terrorists are already hard up.
Indonesian authorities have thanked the AFP and the Philippine government for the efforts they've exerted to release the Indonesian nationals.
I would like to express my thanks and appreciation for the government of the Philippines, especially the armed forces of the Philippines.
The freed hostages are identified as Muhammad Nazer and Ruben Peter, who were part of the 7-member crew of the TB Charles 00 boat. The ASG abducted the two in Simisa, Sulu last June 22 of this year. Their colleagues who were also kidnapped were also freed just recently. The ASG still has 23 hostages, including 18 foreigners. Many of them are Vietnamese. Meanwhile, 5 of the captives are Filipino nationals. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Philippine National Police warns their policemen against indiscriminate firing amid the holiday revelry. Joanna will tell us why.
Pag kayo na-report, definitely the Chief PNP will not tolerate wrongdoing. So yung ito nga, kung kayo magpapaputok illegally nung inyong baril, mag-ingat kayo dahil yung taong bayan ang magsusumbong.
This was the official statement of the Philippine National Police as they warn all their police and even civilians against indiscriminate firing during the holiday revelry. According to PNP, those who are caught violating this order will be punished in accordance with the law, such as grave misconduct, or will be charged with a criminal liability. Every year, several cases of death due to indiscriminate firing has been recorded by the PNP caused by irresponsible gun owners. In 2013, a 7-year-old girl named Stephanie Nicole Ella died after she was hit by a stray bullet while watching fireworks outside their house in Caloocan City. In line with this, the PNP again encouraged the public to report anyone using firearms illegally as the year 2016 ends.
The best po dito ay yung pakikipagtulungan, yung information coming from the public. Sila po yung amin pong talagang aasahan na kapag may nakita po silang nagpaputok, pulis, sibilyan o sino man, itawag kagad.
They just have to coordinate the details with Hotline 911 or send a message in PNP text line number 2286. Yesterday, the PNP announced that putting tapes on gun muzzles will not be done this year because PNP Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa is confident that their people are disciplined and professional, so the ceremony is not needed anymore. Sealing of gun muzzles is only one of the campaigns of the PNP to inform the public on the strict prohibition of indiscriminate firing during holiday celebrations. Joanna, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
The Department of Trade and Industry has warned the public to double-check food products on sale before buying them. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Baka mamaya yung presyo mura pero pag tinignan mo maigi, bukas expiry na. O di kaya 1 week from now, expiring na.
The Department of Trade and Industry reminds consumers to be cautious when buying food products that are usually put on sale but may already be past its expiration date. The department also reminds shoppers to buy only what they need to avoid overspending.
Let's go with priorities. Nauuna ko minsan yung hindi prioridad na Unahin muna natin pagkain. Kung ano talaga yung kailangan, hindi yung ano yung gusto.
On Friday, DTI will be inspecting several public markets to check if they are following the suggested retail prices. The department is also monitoring traders that sell substandard lighting systems and decorative lights as well as illegal firecrackers.
Meron po kaming standard na sinusunod doon.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Department of Trade and Industry.
The Department of Trade and Industry in Nueva Ecija has issued a reminder to the public about prohibited and non-prohibited firecrackers this holiday season. Consumers are advised to buy firecrackers with Philippine Standard Mark. In the coming days, DTI will conduct an intensive information drive to inform the public about the type of firecrackers and pyrotechnics they could buy. The agency likewise reminds the public of the rules regarding prohibited firecrackers, as erring retailers may face fines or imprisonment.
Yung prohibited firecrackers, yung overweight, not more than 0.2 gram or not more than 1/3 teaspoon. Oversized like Super Lolo, Giant Whistle Bomb, etc. Yung fuse should not burn less than 3 seconds.
Coming up, Venezuelans hastily dumped 100 Bolivar bills despite having one of the world's highest inflation rates.
The Pinoy restaurant Romelo Cafe was hailed as 2016's most loved restaurant in central London.
Tonight of Inspiration as Kuya Danielle's advocacy film, Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto, marks its premiere showing tonight at Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City.
More from Y News after this break. A low-pressure area is continuously pouring heavy rains that may trigger flash floods and landslides over Calabarzon area. As of 4 p.m. today, Pag-asa estimates its location within the vicinity of Alfonso, Cavite. Cloudy skies with light rains is expected over the island of Batanes and Calayan, while light to moderate rains and thunderstorms will prevail over Metro Manila, Visayas, and the rest of Luzon. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms will prevail over Mindanao. Pag-asa forecasts that the LPA would bring rains within 24 to 48 hours and is expected to exit in Mindoro area. Meanwhile, supporters and friends gather for the premiere and sponsors night of Kuya Danielle's advocacy film, Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto, tonight at the Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City. Grace Casin is there to tell us why live. Go ahead, Grace.
Good evening, Checo. It is a full of inspiration as we witness the premiere showing of Kuya Danielle's advocacy film, Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto. As of the moment, families, friends, and supporters of Kuya Danielle are enjoying the film, which is written and directed by Mr. Public Service himself. Some of the invited personalities and celebrities graced the occasion who had a special participation in the movie. Some of the personalities invited for tonight are superstar Nora Honor, indie film queen Miss Gina Pareño, Jackie Lo Blanco, Ray PJ Abellana, Jeffrey Santos, Wendell Ramos, Romel Padilla, Robbie Packing, Bayani Agbayani, Precious Lara Kigaman, Jess Lapid, PNP Chief Roland Bato de la Rosa, and his son Rack de la Rosa, among others. Before the showing, Kuya Danielle had a meet and greet with his supporters here at the lobby. Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto is a sequel of Isang Araw, the movie, and Isang Araw, the movie Part 2, a film of all ages that teaches good values and hope for all its audience. Jago, that's the latest here at Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City. Back to you. Good evening.
Thank you for that report, Grace Casin reporting live from Marriott Grand Ballroom in Pasay City.
Venezuelans ditched the largest Bolivar bill amid financial crisis. RC Reyes will tell us why.
Venezuelans are hastily dumping the country's 100 Bolivar bill because leftist President Nicolas Maduro is pulling the largest note in currency out of circulation. Maduro said the withdrawal of the bill, worth 2 US cents on the black market, is needed to reduce contraband of the bills on the Venezuela-Colombia border. The bill will be removed in 72 hours as of Tuesday in Venezuela, while new higher denomination bills due out on Thursday. People ran around on Monday with a big brown envelope trying to deposit money, only to find many cash machines not working. Adding to the aggravation, Monday was a bank holiday, meaning there were no tellers. Venezuelans have 10 days to exchange the notes at the central bank.
Los días que dan para retirar el billete, muy pocos días. Son 3 días que vamos a hacer, nos vamos a ir a un banco a correr a depositar, ¿entiendes? Entonces ya después el jueves que vamos a decir a la gente, no podemos aceptar carrera porque los billetes si no están funcionando, no leemos lógica, pues eso tiene que ir saliendo poco a poco, porque de paso viene una moneda nueva, entonces eso va a evaluar este billete demasiado, ¿entiendes? Entonces nosotros somos las personas que nos hemos afectado al público venezolano, los venezolanos.
While many businesses are not accepting 100 Bolivar bills, poor people living day-to-day could not afford to reject cash. Authorities say Colombian shoppers and mafias were buying up the 100 Bolivar bills to go on a spending spree in Venezuela, worsening shortages of basics like flour and antibiotics.
Investigación que se ha ordenado acerca de la fuga de estos billetes de 100 bolívares de alta denominación en nuestro territorio organizaciones norteamericanas planifican a través de organizaciones no gubernamentales este golpe financiero para buscar dentro de la guerra económica asfixiar a nuestro país y crear un malestar general en la población civil.
Venezuela is heaving under its third straight year of recession, pushing millions to skip meals and medical treatment. Arce Reyes, UNTV News and Rescue, Latin America.
Australia defends the offshore processing of asylum seekers. Nina Bascon will tell us why.
As Australian Foreign Minister Julie Bishop outlined the case for the government's seat on the UN's Human Rights Council from 2018 on Monday, December 12, she was quick to fend off criticism of Australia's offshore processing in Nauru and Papua New Guinea. Under Australia's tough border security laws, asylum seekers intercepted trying to reach the country by boat are sent for processing at detention camps on Papua New Guinea's Manus Island and the tiny South Pacific island nation of Nauru.
Of those who sought to come to Australia via the people smuggling trade, yet found to be owed protection, they can be resettled in Papua New Guinea, in Nauru, in Cambodia, and with a proposal underway for resettlement in the United States. All four options should be entirely acceptable to someone fleeing from persecution or the threat of it.
Australia has reached a resettlement deal with the United States for refugees being held in Papua New Guinea and Nauru after attempting to reach Australia by boat, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said in November. Amnesty International said it was extremely concerned about the lack of information around the timeline and the number of refugees to be processed. No timeline was given for the process. The detention of asylum seekers is a hot-button political issue in Australia, but has bipartisan support as the policy has won elections. However, it has been condemned at home and overseas amid reports of systemic abuse. Nina Bascon, UNTV News and Rescue, Melbourne, Australia.
More than 400 villagers have evacuated after huge cracks and cave-ins appeared at a previous mining area in Jingmen City in Hubei province in China. Cracks of up to hundreds of meters long and 20 centimeters wide appeared in croplands of the Fengmiao village on Saturday morning. The land subsidence extended across most parts of the village, leaving fish ponds dried up, buildings collapsed, and roads damaged. The incident occurred at a used-up gypsum mining area that was abandoned in 2008. Local authorities immediately cordoned off the village. No casualties have been reported yet. Patrick Pinieter and Tina Unterberger win in the Natural Luge World Cup event this year. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo of Real Madrid wins the Ballon d'Or award for the fourth time. Mon Hokson tells us why.
Portugal and Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo wins the Ballon d'Or award for the fourth time after claiming the European Championship and Champions League titles this year. Ronaldo, who won the award in 2008, 2013, and 2014, is now one short of the record tally of 5 awards won by Barcelona's Argentina forward Lionel Messi.
For me, it's a great honor to receive my fourth golden ball. The emotion is like the first one. I have opportunity to thank all my teammates, the national team, Real Madrid, all the people, all the players who helped me to win this individual award.
The Ballon d'Or, which merged with the FIFA World Player of the Year award from 2010 to 2015 to create the FIFA Ballon d'Or, returned to France Football magazine this year. Meanwhile, Italian Patrick Pinieter wins the first Natural Luge World Cup event of the season, continuing the form that saw him crowned world champion last year.
It was also today a very great race, and here the start is very important, and I have very good starts today in the last runs.
Pinieter has won golds, silvers, and bronzes in the FIL World Luge Natural Track Championships and FIL European Luge Natural Track Championships. In the women's race, Austrian Tina Unterberger responded with an amazing effort to clinch victory in the second leg and claim overall victory.
Well, I don't know exactly, but I like the track. I like when it's steep and narrow and very fast. And I like also this competition head-to-head.
The next race of the season takes place in Lach, Italy at the beginning of January. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Inmates and officials of Cavite's General Mariano Alvarez Municipal Jail are grateful to UNTV and members Church of God International. Leslie Longbowen will tell us why.
Salamat po ako sa Panginoon Diyos at sa malaking bagay po na medical mission na ito dahil marami na po dito ang mga walang dalaw at mga may karamdaman po at nabibigyan po ng kulang runas.
Ambrosio Vicente is just one of the hundreds of inmates in General Mariano Alvarez Municipal Jail who receive free services of UNTV and its partner in public service, the Members Church of God International or MCGI. The group brought a free medical and dental mission inside the facility. Jail Inspector Aristeo Marasigan shares the condition of the inmates.
Kadalasan ang nagiging sakit dito, considering na ang jail ay masikip talaga, maliit. Yang siyempre ubot sipon, tapos nasasamahan niyang mga high blood, tapos meron pa rin yang sakit ng ngipin.
At least 350 inmates benefited from the free services, including free dental extraction and free medicines prescribed by volunteer doctors.
Malaking tulong nga po ito dahil malulunasan po yung mga naranasan naming mga sakit.
Jail Inspector Marasigan is thankful for the assistance jointly extended by UNTV and MCGI.
Kami lubos na nagpapasalamat at naganap itong ganitong medical dental mission.
Leslie Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The popular Time Out magazine awarded a Filipino restaurant in central London as the most loved restaurant for year 2016. Jovic Bermas will tell us why.
Filipino restaurant Romelo Cafe was hailed the most loved restaurant in central London when regular customers nominated it online in the recently concluded the Time Out Love London Award 2016 in the United Kingdom, organized by the world-famous digital and print media publisher Time Out Group. The 8-month-old Filipino restaurant located in the busy street of South Kensington is the top choice for customers of different ages.
Actually, first we heard about this from our friends, and obviously when we came here to eat the first time, it was my friend's birthday, and we actually liked the food. It was actually delicious. It was like eating back, food at home. So we really enjoyed it.
Well, this is our second time, and that's why we came back, because of the recipe and other ingredients of the food is very nice, nice and well served.
According to Ms. Rowena Romulo, the cafe owner and granddaughter of the late diplomat Carlos P. Romulo, maintaining a restaurant within the competition in London's commercial district is a tough challenge. The success of their business lies mostly for the love of Filipino food that stand out in a very competitive food industry here in London.
It's always people looking for the new food trends or the next best thing. So I think our introduction of Philippine cuisine has been very timely. Second, I think we're filling a gap in terms of Filipino restaurants in London, in the sense that we're able to offer a full-service restaurant with the added attraction of the historic legacy of my grandfather.
Rowena employs not only Filipinos but also other nationalities to promote diversity in the workplace.
I believe that it's good to have diversity in the workplace. Majority of our staff are Filipinos, so 95% of the staff in the kitchen are Filipinos. One of our managers is Filipina, but we do employ Portuguese, Italian, Romanian, Spanish, Vietnamese. And like I said, I think it really works because everybody learns from each other. And it's nice once in a while that we're the ones teaching other nationalities.
Apart from Philippine embassy officials, known personalities who have tasted the menu at Romelo Cafe were Filipino actor Richard Gomez and his wife Congresswoman Lucy Torres Gomez, Senator Nancy Binay, and Tourism Secretary Wanda Teo. Our Filipino kababayans keep coming back to this restaurant to satisfy their taste buds when they crave for lutong bahay recipes within a cozy Pinoy-style ambience. Despite of being new, Romelo Cafe has undoubtedly proven its excellence in the food industry as the most loved restaurant in the heart of London. Jovic Bermas, UNTV News and Rescue, London, United Kingdom.
New female giant panda twins at the Atlanta Zoo have finally got their names. Nina or Emilio will tell us why.
In fact, it is now time to reveal the names. In fact, the names are Darlene and Angelo.
Thousands of giant panda fans from around the world have chosen the names Ya-Loon and She-Loon for the new female twins at the Atlanta Zoo. Ya means elegant, She means happy, and Loon refers to the fluffy black and white bear's mother, Loon Loon. The names were announced on the 100th day after their September 3 births, in line with Chinese tradition. The names are the winning combination from among 7 sets supplied by the zoo's partners in China. Ya-Loon and She-Loon earned just over 11,000 of the more than 23,400 votes cast by panda fans globally from November 21 to December 4. Although the International Union for the Conservation of Nature downgraded the giant panda status to vulnerable from endangered in September, the species still relies heavily on conservation programs. The zoo management said fewer than 1,900 giant pandas are estimated to remain in the wild in China's Sichuan, Shanxi, and Gansu provinces. They are threatened by habitat fragmentation and loss as a result of deforestation and other human activities. Ya-Loon and She-Loon are the second set of twins for Loon Loon and male Yang Yang, and the pair's 6th and 7th offspring. The pandas did not attend the ceremony announcing their names, since they are still learning to walk. Ya-Loon and She-Loon are expected to make their debut in late December or in January. Nina Armilio, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Those are the reasons behind the news. December 13, 2016. I'm Angelo Castro III.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Gerry Alcantara.
And I'm Darlene Basingan, because we need to know.
We will always ask why. Thank you for watching. Why News?